Hello everybody, this is Ollie from WS Beam and today I want to introduce you the WS Portfolio menu. First log in into our backend. So here we go. Now directly jump to extensions and the extension manager. You see I have already extracted this file you get after purchase. Begin with install. First choose the module. Upload and install, done. Let's choose the gallery when needed. Upload install, done. And choose the helper plugin. Upload install, done. Jump to the plugin manager because we have to activate these two plugins. You see them here under system plugins. Activate and activate. So this was the first step. Now the next step is to create a menu because it's called WS Portfolio menu. Let's go to the menu manager and add a new menu. For example, let's call it Portfolio. Portfolio. Save and close. Here we go. Next step is to assign the module to the article where we want to display it. Let's go to the module manager. You see here already existing. Jump inside it. Title won't show. Publish. Position, let's call also portfolio. You have to type it in because this module position is not available. Check make module assignment to all pages and on base select our portfolio. Save and close. Now jump to our article. We go portfolio and use the load position command. Load position. And we have called the module position portfolio. Save and close. And we're ready. Now you see already we have a show all button, but of course no content inside it. Let's create some content for the portfolio. Jump back to the backend, choose our portfolio menu, and say add new menu item. Here we go. We say item 1 for example, and as menu type you can choose whatever you want. I recommend you to use a system link, for example, as external URL. Type in whatever you want. Link type not needed, and you see this is our helper plugin. We choose the image. We have already uploaded some. Project. Choose it. Alternative text, very important for search engines. This is the title of the image and the filter IDs where should be assigned to it. Let's say for example filter 1 and filter 3. We can choose them later. So this was the most important. Save and close. And you see we got already one item inside our portfolio. So here we go. I have copied the item. Now we have 9 items. You see it here in the backend. It's very simple. You can also use drag and drop function to reorder. Let's see. Item 9 is now the last one. But let's go to the module settings. This is an important part. Here you have really a lot of settings. Now go to our WS Portfolio menu. And first base, here is all okay. You can show me only last X items and have several other options. Let's go to the filters, really a lot of options here. You have full control over all. Let's start with the filters. We have, say before, filter 1, filter 2, filter 3. So I have assigned the filters to the items in a random position. Let's say save. And here we go. Now you see we have the other 3 filters. And you see it's already working. Now let's go to the details of the portfolio. For example, grid. You see here at the moment we have 4 columns for the large grid, 3 columns for the medium grid, 2 columns for the small grid and 1 column for the extra small grid. You have full control over all grid functions. Now, I think the items are too small. Let's say we wanted 3 columns. Here are 2 columns and there already 1 column. Refresh. And you see we got a nice column with 3 columns here. Filter already working, very nice. Large elements is a pro option. I don't recommend you to use this, but of course you can. General settings, the grid margin at the moment 50 pixels to each side. We can also use 0. Save. And you see our items are stacked inside. Filters already working, very nice. Jump ahead. Sorting can be default descending, for example. Refresh. You see it, here we go. Let's get back. Can also choose random sorting each time. Of course, then sorting one option makes no sense. And you see you got a random ordering every time. Let's get back, say original order, perfect. Here you can choose the preloader. For example, we can disable it for now. And you see there's no preloading now before the portfolio is shown. I recommend you to use it because it looks nice. You can also choose here a custom image. If no image is chosen, the default one will be taken. Here you got the transition duration. This is how fast the items are animated. Let's say save. Refresh. And of course you see this transition duration only when you animate. You see it's now much more faster than before. Let's get back. Here, animation settings. This is in viewport animation or one-time animation. I recommend you the one-time animation. You got a lot of effects here. For example, now let's zoom in, save, and refresh the front end. Now you see the items will become zoom in to you. Looks really nice. Let's get to the next steps. Advanced settings. Here I don't recommend you to change this. Take of your own risk here. Or a predefined right to left layout for you. Now let's have a deeper look to the item settings. First we set margin back to 15 pixel. Because I think for this case it looks better when we have a greater gutter width. Here we go. Now let's go to the item settings. You see you have global item layout, 11 options at this moment, and you can choose really nearly all. Let's say we want the headline over the image. Change, save and refresh, and you see we got it over it. But for example, you can also choose completely different layouts. Let's say headline, image, and then the content you can enter in the item. Choose it, save, and refresh the front end. And you see we got a really large portfolio. Filters still working nice. But there are also a lot of other options like headline, image, and toggle text. For really large text, this makes more sense because it looks more nicer. Save it. Now you see you got a small toggle item here. You can open it and voila, it looks really awesome. Many customers has asked after this feature, the accordion function, and we have made it and it's working amazing. You can choose all layouts here. You see you got a nice preview image. It's really easy. Image overlay. At the moment we have no overlay over the image. You can choose here between some layouts. For example, let's show expand icon. This works only when toggled layout. So now you hover the image and you see you got an expand icon. Or let's say we want to have a button to view the image in the lightbox. Save it, refresh the front end, and you see now we have a hover image over this, and you can choose the image in a lightbox in a nice gallery, also with drag and drop function for mobile devices. And the fancy box 2 is also included in our WS portfolio. So you see it's still working all very nice. Let's go wider. You see here you can choose between several icons for this one. We got here a small icon picker where you can choose one arrow. Now you can copy it. We got here small code inside it, because you have also the possibility to use text or whatever you want, images, no matter. Toggle style, you see also we can change it, because we have at the moment a toggle layout active. Here we go. Now we have another icon. Nice. We love it. Highlight and click is an advanced function. You can read more about it here. The SEO settings, SEO is very important for us, and the full portfolio is really made for awesome SEO experience. You can choose here the headline type. I think H3 or H2 is a good choice for a portfolio. Yeah, that was it for the item settings. So now let's talk a little about the filter bar. You see you have here also a lot of settings. You can completely disable the filter bar, that's also possible. Or you can choose between 4 different layouts. Let's say at the moment we have default layout. Buttons in a row, ready. You can choose also to have a drop down. You see you can here also choose an icon or text for it. Save and refresh. And you see we got a nice drop down here. Also with the filters. But of course there's also the slide out layout. Refresh, on first step it looks very similar, but now the button comes horizontal. Nice. Or there's the layout for in content, means a stamp mode, save. Refresh, and you see you got the filters inside of your portfolio. So let's change the default. You can also choose an active filter. Many customers have asked after this. Or can completely disable the show all button. Of course this makes only sense when you have another filter active. You can activating the sorting buttons, or for example a shuffle button. You see here at the moment random icon. Let's refresh. And you see here a nice random button. Looks really funny. When all activated, you see you got a lot of options here. The options are depending on the above items. Let's say we want all back. You see 10 filters are possible. We think that's really enough for most portfolios. Let's save. And we get back to our basic portfolio here. Now let's have a look to the lightbox settings. You see you got here also a tab for the lightbox. You can choose several effects. For example, let's take for the fading, elastic, no matter one, the speed for the opening and the closing, how many images should be preloaded, some other options, appearance settings with padding, can choose alternative lightbox theme, the captions, where you want to have them, For example, let's say we want inside, and on the top we want a padding of 15 pixel. Let's save, and we have a look to the lightbox now. Here we go. Completely different layout. You see now on top, we can change it, for example, and let's say we want outside at the bottom. Save, refresh. Let's call a lightbox, and here we go. Now we have at the bottom. Video width and height can be changed if you want to show YouTube or Vimeo videos. And yeah, that's the basic settings for the lightbox. Now let's have a look to the colors and the appearance section. You see you can really change all here. You can choose, for example, different color for the filter buttons, alternative text here. For Hoover also black, but a darker font size. And the active color, no matter one. Nice blue, for example. Border radius, say 3 pixel. Save, refresh, and you see it's completely changed now. Also, here's some settings for the lightbox. The overlay color can be, for example, the same. Go. Another opacity, let's say 0.6. Save. Refresh. Open the lightbox, and you see working great. Also the overlay. Overlay means this one. We can also choose, for example, the same here. Change opacity to 0.9. Save. And refresh. See, it's working. Really easy. Also, you can, of course, change here all for the overlay buttons. That's also possible. Let's say we want a white background, dark text, Hoover, dark font size, border radius, we take also 3 pixel. Save and refresh. And you see it have also been changed. So, overlay buttons, and of course for the item general, that's also possible. We can use this nice color, for example, and let's say the headline background should be there. This one also, headline text will be white, and body text will be a light gray. Let's also add a border radius for it. Save and refresh. Here we go. Looks nice. You see, you have really a lot of options. To reset all, you can simply delete all values. That's the easiest way to set back the basic settings. Here we go. And now you got the default one. You have also the possibility to write your own CSS here. This field will override all of the default CSS of the WS portfolio. Of course, we can help you a little bit with it, but it should be no problem if you have some skills with it. You can also add own jQuery functions, but we don't recount this. Maybe this can be useful, you see, but I don't recount really. Documentation, we will extend this, of course. Some general thing. The extension can be linked with filters. You see it in the URL here, filter 1, filter 2, filter 3. A lot of customers have asked us this, and now it's possible. Let's also have a little view to the base settings. You see here the menu to display, because you can have several portfolios on your website. The layout we will add more later. You can say I want to show only the last X items. This can be useful if you want, for example, to show on your main page the last 3 portfolio items. Let's say here only last 3 items. Save. And you see you got only last 3 items here. So got load jQuery, but that shouldn't be necessary, and load only the scripts you can read more about here in the tooltip. So now a little word about the item settings here, overlay, because this is very complex and you have really a lot of possibilities with this. Let's say we want to activate all 3 now. Save. Now you get 3 overlays here. For example, one for expand and one here for the lightbox. Lightbox is always the image you choose as main image. But of course here's also a link. At the moment there is nothing behind. Let's go to the menu manager. Choose your portfolio menu. Now you see you can here in the item, in the WS portfolio menu settings, you can choose, for example, a link title. Let's say WS theme, and the open link method. You see here a very detailed description about it. But let's say we want to open it in a new window. So you have in the details, type in here a link, for example, ws-theme.com, save, and you see under the link here you will get to ws-theme.com. You can also choose to open the link in a lightbox or lightbox as iframe. Lightbox is really come when you type in a video URL here. For example, you can choose a YouTube video. Let's go to YouTube, youtube.com. Let's say we want this video, copy the URL, paste it in the link, and say open in Lightbox. See, refresh. Now the video is opened in a Lightbox.
Ach ja, das Wochenende.
So, very nice. Also there are some other options. For example, you can also open the website in an iframe. Let's open the S theme in an iframe. So, refresh and open. You see, you got the website in an iframe. I hope you enjoy this small video tutorial, and if you got problems, simply contact us, look at our support section, or open the ticket. Thanks for watching and see you soon.